Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 822 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. I'm Brian Case. I eat paper. You are you. You watch me eat paper. Now that we've introduced the cast of crazy characters, me and you, we're going to do the thing that the series said we're going to do. And we have water. I'm trying to be more uniform. I know I complained last time that soda is the optimal way to intake paper because water, for some reason, when combined with paper, creates a particular taste that initiates my gag reflex and might cause me to vomit on stream, which has not happened. I believe the last time I vomited on my YouTube channel was probably my chemistry video from like 4 years ago when I ate the raw pancake cookie dough shit, which was intentionally supposed to be terrible. As a matter of fact, I was planning on throwing up. I was doing like a weird filthy Frank thing, except not so bad that it was gonna get deleted off YouTube. Although I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day that YouTube decides that my chemistry video was too much. But again, it was made a long time ago, and no one goes back and watches my old shit except like maybe 5 to 15 people max, and none of them are probably YouTube moderators or admins. You should do it again. What, you mean throw up? I'm working on it, man. I'm trying to again, we're doing water. So that combined with paper, hopefully gag reflex gets initiated. And if I throw up on my keyboard, then we're never going to clean it out because there's little nooks and crannies and crevices that are impossible to even get a toothbrush bristle under. So I might just ruin everything. Any day that I eat paper is the possibility my gag reflex might come back. I can't control it. It's like acid reflex. Here, I'm gonna put my score for the day. Right now, honestly, I'm just negatively anticipating other shit that's about to happen, but I think right now I am feeling like it's a flat 5, by the way. Right now, I think it's gonna be okay. Right now, it's like, again, just it's me waiting for shit, and technically, it doesn't count as waiting if I'm spending that waiting time doing stuff like this, you know? Why though? What is this referencing? Are you asking why to the 5 out of 10, or are you asking why in reference to, what me not deciding to willingly vomit on camera? I have good answers to both of those questions. Mm. Also, this is not room temperature. This is in the garage, and for some reason, my garage is kinda like a hydro flask, so it kinda retains the temperature from, like, about 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago was around before the sun came up, so I think we're fine. Oh, the flat 5. Well, I appreciate you caring and inquiring about my day. Well, I think the flat 5 is mainly because, um, I'm really trying to put an end to, or at least start to put an end to this eternal dissatisfaction I have with not doing enough stuff, which of course I live stream every day, but I wanna make more quality content or but the thing is that the footage I have for this new video on the main channel, unfortunately, it's not good. However, I'm remembering my previous videos, like I've only released 2 videos this year, but those 2 videos, like the content con thing and the school speech, there were so many aspects with both of the raw footage from both of those videos that was so abysmal, and that's why I procrastinated. And I honestly think that has nothing to do with the footage. I think my raw footage has always been bad. I mean, just watch these paper streams. The proof's in the damn pudding. But I think that what's really changed is my perception of my own content that I produce, even if it's private, that I haven't edited yet, which is more speaks on my issues. I should just be shameless. I'm eating paper. Like, what the hell? Sup? I'm in New York right now. Meaning you're in a different time zone. Have a good dinner, I guess. Um, what's it like over there? Is the pizza greasy? I've been told that the pizza is extremely greasy. Your arteries can get clogged within 2 days if you don't blot your pizza off with a nice napkin. Rank New York out of 10. I'm really on the like 10 rating grind set right now because I've been ranking every year of my life. 2012 is completely indiscernible. So like my memory really, my long-term memory really started kicking in at around 2013. So I have my thing here, right? And again, obviously, it's just a number. So, I mean, just a number doesn't say everything about what a year is. But I am quite proud of this because I think it really surprisingly accurately sums up the ebbs and flows of my life. And what's interesting is thinking of it year by year and thinking of the New Year's as kind of a new change, a new era, even if nothing else in my life represents or signifies a change in my life. That's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because a lot of what makes years good or bad, it's your mindset. And if your mindset innately changes given the start of a new year and thinking, well, if it has to be marking a change, then it will, it'll make life less stagnant. So I think ranking, separating, retrospecting, and segmenting your life out in years is a great way to go about it. But if you notice, um, things weren't really, there was no real pattern here, right? I mean, a lot of my life was very dependent on institutions. And so it really just depended on how good, like 2014, that was my Solana Ranch year, which was so awful, quite literally one of the worst. But you notice kind of right around 2019, you notice a very clear pattern. They're not exactly symmetrical, but I notice starting at around 2019 and incidentally 2018, you notice that odd numbered years are the good ones and even numbered years are the bad ones. And it seems like in my life, and it appears to be through coincidence, like 2022 was my downfall. Dude, me too. Look at this fucking score, 2 out of 10. There are very few details that like I don't feel comfortable publicly talking about. However, I feel like legally there are surprisingly a few more in this year, so I'm probably gonna have to leave a couple blank spaces. But for the most part, I could talk about literally everything that happened, and some of it's pretty fucking bad. But just to kind of give a more grand zoom out, grander scale scope of things, yes. Um, 2019 was definitely one of the highest points. I was dealing it's what's interesting is when I was in grade school, it's so fucking hard through year, right? Because each actual literal year contains the second half of the school year that started prior and the year before, and only the first half of the new school year that starts. So that it makes things more difficult. But once the pandemic happened and the expulsion, but not really an expulsion happened, and all the other bullshit that came along with it. I lost agency of my YouTube channel. Like 2019, by the way, was when I started doing YouTube stuff and I really started experiencing how rewarding it was to just do it. It felt so fucking good. Here, let me read some of your guys' stuff before I continue. It's weird how much. Yeah, dude, like, I don't know what happened. I honestly think that 2 years is the buffer year. I think that's what that is. I think all of the shit that because it was crisis mode, and I mean, this is from the perspective of Americans our age who didn't live through any world wars, didn't even really catch the whole economic recession because we were living in our mom's house at around that point, most of us, unless you're an orphan, in which case my condolences. But I think my theory is that 2021 was kind of a grace period because if you see here, I don't think in my life I'm ever going to have a year as good as 2021. Everything fell perfectly into place in every way. Like, I cannot believe how fucking good that year was. And 2022 was kind of when everything fell apart. And that's because I think my mindset was so damaged long term the 2 years prior from 2020. It was a buffer effect. Like, what is the common denominator between all of us and our experiences? I believe it was that worldwide pandemic that happened. You guys may or may not remember it. But in 2022, I think all of those demons that we pushed into a box because we were in survival mode. Our one goal is to survive to next year. And, we didn't even know what the plague entailed. I mean, it was described as more fatal, but then things got more confusing and we didn't really fully understand as a nation the idea of plague evolution and how it went from basically being a much higher fatality rate basically to a glorified version of the flu by the time the year was over. So, do I think there will be a year that'll be a 0 out of 10? That's a good question. I think that because 2022 was such a low score because everything practically that I had built up through Jazz Inc. and like the best year ever on my YouTube channel, I don't think my YouTube content will ever surpass what I did in 2021. Like maybe the literal quality of the videos, but quality combined with the consistency of uploads will never be surpassed. Hold on, my pizza's ready. I'm just gonna let it cool down. Give me 30 seconds. Yeah. I get it. Get out of here. But here's how I think about this. If 2022 me came in into 2024, because like 2024, like a 5 out of 10 feels high, because when it comes to the external things that happened in my life, I think 2024 had some of the absolute lowest lows in my entire life, no fucking lie. Extremely busy semester. I was kept so busy with things that I wasn't even passionate about. I was just trying to get my GPA up, which ended up being successful by the end of the year. But like, I think the destination of this year was good. I'm in a better spot than I was, especially towards the middle of the year. However, I think the process was so insanely painful. I will never forgive 2024 for what it did to me. But I dealt with so many bullshit scandals, a bunch of villainization and accusation, and a lot of shame that resulted from that. I think this was the year where I was given the opportunity from the external world to beat myself up the most. But I think that I'm in a much better mindset to deal with stuff like this. 2022 was a year where bad shit technically happened, but I think I was the most depressed, and it was when I was really dealing with the anxiety depression thing. And in 2023, to me, was the year where I conquered it. However, the after effects of it still lingered around. And I mean, you can never really get rid of anxiety. I believe 2019 was my pre-anxiety year, and 2021, actually no, 2021 and 2019 were my pre-anxiety years. 2022 was when my real, like, kind of 20-year-old anxiety got birthed out of the uterus of my brain. And everything since then, like, even though in 2023 I had some of my best years, especially on Instagram, this is when, like, these last 3 years is when my YouTube stuff kind of took a backseat to how the Instagram stuff, and I'm now a lot more active on Instagram than anywhere else. Like, the follower count's up. I'm posting stuff that's getting high. Like, you see 2.6 thousand, which I'm quite proud of. And it's not even that good of a video, but not even in rhythm. Right? You get it. But I mean, here, Ian, drop your years ranked, because I ranked each year from what I can remember, right? This is when my long term memory kicked into effect at around 2013. But yeah, man, I think 2023, there was a very thin veil of dread over the whole thing, but it's kind of like one of those weird, I mean, I don't eat sushi, but I imagine this is what sushi's like, right? A little thin layer of rotten fish at the top, but you pick past it, and there's a lot of fresh stuff with very few drawbacks or FDA defections underneath. But 2023 could not be a 9. It couldn't be as good as 2019 or 2021 was, purely because this weird anxiety thing that comes when I'm older. I really think that even though I can have years that are as good as, up to an 8, I don't think that it'll crack that mark unless some significant change happens. Also, a big reason why it's down to an 8, even though the things that happened in 2023, the highs were unparalleled, purely because my YouTube stuff, it's really weird. I can take or leave the Instagram stuff, honestly, even though technically the popularity from that platform is really good. What I produce on Instagram, it's just a collection of pictures and photos and mostly unedited bullshit. There is something about the artistic agency that one can get from here, as seen in Paper Eating live stream number 822. I think these last 3 years and how the stuff on YouTube has decreased and the stuff on Instagram has increased, it's interesting, because I think ranking my years currently, good. I'm sure you're typing it out right now. When you're done with it in about 10 seconds, see if you can pop it in the chat or whatever, or I'll call your number and you can just tell me. But yeah, I think just I realize that, like, I've been misplacing so much of my efforts into something that might satisfy the general public, but satisfies me personally less. Like, I just like making YouTube videos. I really do. Like, I think YouTube videos are just my thing. I might try and major in film, because I think the part of the YouTube videos that I like is long form content that's more polished. And I wish I was better at actually making it. It's like, okay, I like doing it. I don't think I have the capability right now. I don't think I'm talented enough to really consistently do that. But I want to be. I want to learn. So these last 3 years, and the reason why nothing is even cracking a 9, even at the very best, at the absolute peak, is because of that. because I think I've placed so much importance on that, and I honestly I take pride in that now. I think I have to ride with that. But I'm really proud of 2024 being a 5 because honestly, a 5 is the fucking highest this year can get. Because none of these previous years, even 2014 and 2022 at their very lowest scores, nothing that those years offered when it came to just pure circumstance, like the actual circumstances that I faced, nothing was as bad as what I faced this year in 2024. Like, there is so much terrible, terrible bullshit. Made me feel like a bad person, and that made me, at times, subsequently realize that everyone is a bad person. Made me feel real grim about reality, and I was given so many opportunities to beat myself up, and I did. However, 2022 me was so miserable that if 2022 me was placed via time machine, of course, and teleportation methods into 2024 as is, it would be a 0 out of 10, and I would be dead. So, with that said, I can sense a change coming for 2025. As you can see, and Ian, you just came in here, so I'm going to tell you the pattern I noticed. Starting at 2018/2019, it seems like odd numbered years are great and even number years are bad. Like, look at that 3, 2, 5, which is kind of a glitch in the matrix right there. Like 2024, everything was telling me that that was supposed to be way lower. And then 2019, 2021, 2023, a 9, a 10, and an 8. Like, come on now. 2012, do you even remember 2012? You're like, weren't you born in like 2010 or some shit? Okay, well, what happened in 2012? Jesus. Um, you don't need to type a huge paragraph, but I'm actually quite curious because I mean, hey, I'm describing my life. You got to describe yours, man. 2022 was your best? Jesus Christ. You were really locked in your own bubble, and so you weren't experiencing that whole 2022 fucking disease. All right. Mr. Type Shit has given his ranking. Let's look at this. 2015 was a 7. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. 2016 was an 8. Oh, my 2016 was almost there, man. I honestly, in 2016, because of Deganio and G8 special ed classroom and my discovery of like consistently intaking YouTube content, I'm not going to say it was long-term healthy for me, but and the sanctuary that I was given was nothing compared to what it would be. However, in 2014, I was in the worst school situation and I was really facing how little control I had over my life. 2016 was when I was still in grade school and I still had a lot of dependence, but I was really starting to gain my own agency and my own particularities and my own likes towards things. And it wasn't feeling like I was just grabbing onto shit that my parents or my teachers or a homeless guy across the street gave me. I chose what I liked. And that's when I really discovered YouTube and I really started intaking internet content in 2016, even though my parents had banned the fucking internet. And so I had to secretly intake it at school. I remember I stole someone's Android phone just for YouTube. Like, I'm sure that guy's credit card number was in the notes app, but I just didn't care. Your 2017 was a 6. Yeah, 2017 is a 4 out of 10 because that's when puberty hit me so fucking hard. Like, I got zits everywhere and I hated it and it made me more nervous, which in turn made the acne worse, which is a great metaphor for how the subsequent years would play out at their worst. But if you look at my yearbook photo for 2017, I am covered in red scabs everywhere. I look like a meth addict. So, with that said, honestly, I did so much dumb shit in 2017 that would come back to bite me. Like, I said stuff to faculty at my school that concerned them, and in years later, I would be like, "Really, I said that? Jesus Christ, you guys have no idea. I am so sorry. I made myself look terrible." Um, so I did a lot of dumb shit, but honestly, the way things were and how bad I was, it could have turned out a lot worse. Like, I'm surprised 2017 wasn't a straight 1. So there were a lot of things about 2017 where life didn't really give me too many freebie good experiences that year, but especially because my family got so political in 2017 for obvious reasons. But I'm gonna say this: 2017 for me was definitely I got off scot free. I was kind of my get out of jail free card. The year in which your puberty hits you like a freight train all at once, those years are never supposed to be good, ever. So 4 was the best that year was gonna get. Um, 2018 was a 9. Ooh, damn. 2022 was a 1. Jeez, you're fucking telling me. I was so happy in my own bubble, learning to love my life, though. Yeah, let me look at your rank. Okay, so 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. So progressive but very slow, kind of pulling yourself out of the molasses diarrhea shit pile. 2012 is clearly a terrible year. I don't know what the fuck happened. 2022. Oh, wait, you're saying, wait, what? 2022 is there twice, towards the top of the list and then at the very bottom. Oh, 2012 worst, 2022. I think you meant to put 20. Wait, what? Okay, 2023 is there. Why is 2022 right after 2015? What the fuck's going on? I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm gonna assume that was a typo, or maybe you utilized the copy and paste feature at the incorrect time. Um, 2024, 2023. Okay. Um, that's an interesting. So I see it's worst to best. Come on, we got to do it out of 10. It makes it a lot easier, especially when there's just duplicates over here. But um, 2020 a 3. Oh, look at that, brother. We're twinsies. But wait, what was it? Yeah, it was a 3. Honestly, given how like it's weird. I would never expect for 2022 to be worse than 2020. It's interesting. My bad, Brina. I didn't understand. Dude, let's point and laugh. No, it's all good, man. Don't worry. No, it's good that, that you're putting the effort into ranking, but like that's a very interesting. I normally don't see ranked lists where I mean it's clear that for me it just alternates. Bad, good, bad, good. For you, it's like bad, 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 good, bad, good, 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 good. I mean, maybe that's mindset. I mean, a lot of these rankings are based off of self-fulfilling prophecies and mindsets. 2024 is a 4. 2023, damn, what the fuck, dude? That's too bad. I don't know if I could stand that. Like 2022 and 2023 back to back, a 1 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10. What the fuck is going on, man? That's so bad. I'm so sorry. No, honestly, I'm really happy about this because I could not handle this year right after 2022. Thank God for my little break right here. Or you could say that I mean the bad years are technically just downer breaks from all my good years. I just really hope next year's good, which is putting extra pressure, which might make it worse, but whatever. It is what it is. I have a whole year to make it good. So if something bad happens on day 1, it's fine. We got 364 days left, and I accidentally turned voice typing on, so it's picking. Let's keep that there. Actually, that's a good omen. Maybe that'll be in my little tagline. It'll sink into the back of my head like your retinas when you look at the sun. It's imprinted in my brain now, and I can refer back to it later and go, "Oh yeah, I do have 364 days until tomorrow." Mm. Ah, excuse me. Just fucked up mentally. Well, no, I mean that is an overall bad thing though, and you should be shamed for it. No, like I think that's interesting because it's really the dichotomy between 2022 and 2024. 2022 internally, I was so bad, and that's why it's a 2. 2024, the external shit, the external circumstances I was placed in were so fucking bad, so insanely fucking bad. And yet it's still a 5. It can't go above a 5, which is impossible. But it's still a 5 because I think I'm really proud of myself. And even though saying this, I'm remembering what happened this year and I'm feeling bad about it. Like I think I'm a person who is a lot stronger than who he was. Like I'm not gonna compare myself to Genghis. Actually, I was thinking of like ancient warriors and Genghis Khan, the serial rapist, is the first thing that popped up. But I don't think I'm like Hercules or anything like that. I'm only comparing myself to me 2 years ago, compared to who I was before. I was such a self-destructive. I was a snake eating himself 2 years ago. Now today, I really think I know how to. I mean, worst case scenario, given time, just um, I think take the worst situations ever and twist them to my benefit, or resolve them and do it with courage. Like when I approached the female who I was talking about, and I just confronted her and told her like like it is. I mean, the way I see it, and she'd probably disagree with me if she were to ever see this, but I believe that I had the courage to say that which she could never do. I mean, this whole like the whole conflict was based off of the lack of initiative taken to communicate things that are not that easy to communicate. So I can understand where she was coming from. But for me to just, I mean, even if it was just a yelling match, even if it was just a screaming competition, she ended up hearing me. And The after effects of that have been a bit of a mixed bag, a bit strange, but I'm very proud. I'm very proud that I recognized what was going on and I was able to regain my own agency. So a lot of the terrible things that happened this year were wrapped up within the year. Like with 2020 and 2022, terrible things happened that ended up getting resolved later. 2021 tied up the loose ends from 2020. 2023 tied up the loose ends from 2022 for the most part. So I also think it's really important to evaluate your year. I'm gonna actually try and make some lists because I used to do my good content of this year, that year, this year, the other year, and I think evaluating my own life by segmenting things out and being somewhat logistical about it, that honestly is very healthy. Retrospecting and looking at things objectively, but also with optimism. Like that's a thing that I used to do. I used to really rank my years. I love to make lists and kind of segment things out, and I still do. I just think I'm being a little skittish about when and where I do it. But I'm glad I did this because this is one of the first times when I did my year ranked list, I really looked back at the last like 11 years of my life, and I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. And it made me realize, hey, you know what? The bad you cannot ignore, but vice versa as well. I mean, look at these scores. Actually, now that I think about it, I should do some math. Let's find the average year. Like, if we were, like, what is the highest possibility for a score if we were to center it all around one number, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fuck. Okay, hold on. I can't count. 1, 2, 9, 10, 11. 12. Is that 12? Okay, I guess I don't know how to do math. That's 12 years. Okay, so 6 plus 2 plus 5. 6 plus 2 plus 5 plus. Oh, it actually puts it. That's so good. It puts it all in one, so I don't have to have that whole like, oh, wait, where am I? It actually just tells me. It gives me a nice little list, so I can count it. Thank you. Plus 2 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4 plus 5. 7 plus 4 plus 5 plus 9 plus 3 plus 10 plus 9 plus 3 plus 10 plus 2 plus 8 plus 5 divided by, actually, no, backspace. What does that equal? 66. What is 66 divided by 12? Well, it's as expected. Now, again, 5 is the average. 5 is an average year where it's not unenjoyable overall and not enjoyable overall. My average score for every year that has been evaluated is a 5.5, which really isn't that bad. It's just slightly above average. That's not too bad. Ian, I didn't realized it wasn't that great. No, that's the tricky part about ranking these years, isn't it? Where it's like then you just zero in on the bad stuff. But keep note, a year is massive. And so to even look into the little crevices, you have to go by gut feeling. Or try and evaluate specific circumstances, but then after that, zoom out again and then evaluate. All right, your 2012 was a 2. Jesus Christ, Ian. Oh my God. 2013 was also a 2. How are you still alive? 2020 or 2014 was a 4. Fair. 15, 6, 16, and 8. And honestly, 2016 was kind of a based year for everybody. People always look back pretty fondly on 2016. That was the Vine era, and that's when Jake Paul was doing prank calls. Butthole Street. How can that be a bad era? 2017 and 8. I wouldn't agree with you there. 19.3, 7, 8. 2022 was a 10. Oh my God, Ian. You're the only one of your kind. 2023 was a 6, fair enough. And 2024 was a 9. Pretty bloody good. Well, Ian, as someone who seems so emo and as a person who in real life I've only seen smile like 3 times, I would never imagine that the last 4 years would be above the 5 mark for you. So that's pretty good. Peak life, you say? No, honestly, it's best to have your worst all the way back in like what? You were like 4. 2012, you were like 4 years old. Methuselah, we're ranking our years out of 10. So here, check this. Ignore this. This was voice typing activating on accident, but also I know I say ranked, but I mean that's just a simple word. Years, and I'm gonna go plus scores. How about that? It's a list of years plus scores. There we go. So that's what I'm doing. And even though it seems stupid and autistic, like honestly, it's very healthy for anyone to do. I think ranking your years like that and kind of evaluating like what was good, what was bad, right? I like how you only give one score and that one score is for exactly 10 years ago. I like that. Or maybe you're like slowly doing it 1 year at a time. Actually, I respect that. That's cool. I don't know why I always got so yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I mean, actually, I had a discussion with you way back in the day, and I theorized that it was kind of about you projecting, where it's like, okay, Caden's extreme obsession over me, you were his actual friend. Like, I know that I'm friendly with Caden, kind of, but I mean, ever since him and Avery got linked up, I mean, I'm doxing a bunch of personal info, but I don't give a fuck. But like, ever since him and Avery linked up, he's really dropped it. Thank God. So glad. Congrats on your freedom, Caden. I should congratulate myself on my freedom too. But my theory is, I think that I'm not your guys' friend. I'm a friendly acquaintance, and I will totally communicate with you guys. But for one, I'm not age appropriate. Two, I got my own friends, and I got enough of them. I don't really need any more. And three, the weird power dynamic between how I perceived you because you were one of Caden's friends, and specifically Caden's behavior, and how he would wig out and he would paint his face blue and adopt all of these weird personality traits I had. And he would do all this stuff, and he would do the whole worship thing, which was cool. It was like cool and interesting for like the first 3 days, but it continued for about a year to a year and a half. So I'm really proud of Content Con 2023. I think that was the turning point. Like Content Con 2023 was when Caden finally realized he couldn't keep doing this. That was the moment where he was caught on camera, you know, being that particular type of simp. And with that said, Caden's a real man. He's a great guy. He's a complex individual, as you say that. But yeah, I feel like I always understood that. Well, what I'm saying is, I think that it was kind of this. Well, you think that I'm like Caden, and you think I'm gonna, you think I'm gonna be nice to you, but I'm not gonna be nice to you. When like you swung all the way in the other direction, violently, I would say. It was kind of a weird like bias where it was like, okay, you would always come in with this like slightly aggressive behavior because it was kind of the contrast. I guess you instinctively started playing good cop, bad cop, except you weren't actually, tenured policemen, and I didn't do anything wrong. So I don't know why it felt like I was in a damn interrogating room. Brian, can I have a lock of your hair? Fuck you, Brian. You're gay and you smell, and your armpits smell like Cheetos. I was like the two sides to the two of you. You didn't always get that. No, honestly, I think the revelation, and I think you and I talked about this, it was when Caden was on Content Con and he realized, wait, this is retarded. What am I doing? Um, and I mean, I'm really glad that that version of Caden could have died with a bang because it created, in my opinion, one of my best videos. So it's cool that, that era of Caden's life is over. And we were able to give a proper farewell to that version of him, because ever since Content Con got released, he completely disengaged. And that's beautiful. And he found the love of his life. And now he's a little bit of an alpha male, if I do say so myself. And, if we're going to look at how he would keep kind of comparing himself to me, and he would keep doing this weird Rupert Pupkin, like, I want to be you thing with me. Now the tables have turned. Like, I'm just kind of here and I'm just kind of silently admiring the fact that, he has changed so much. And now he has a girl who they consistently appear to be loving each other. And I mean, not to throw shade on myself, but I don't have a girlfriend right now. So, Caden, you've really come a long way, and you've really you've climbed the rungs of the ladders. You've skipped over me, so I appreciate that. So, and Ian, you're developing your bubble, even though it's a little broken right now because 2023 apparently was bad. And judging by your behavior, I can definitely tell there was some internal conflict, and that can damage your own bubble if you're beating yourself up. But I do notice that you're doing pretty good right now. You've gotten a lot more chill, especially because Caden has chilled out himself. So those weird polar opposites where it's like, fuck you, I want to be you, like all that, it went right back down to the middle, and the two of you are actually acting like grown-ups now. So that's cool. Feel like I'm intruding. Oh, don't worry. We do this every single stream. But I think as like this, I mean, how else can this function? It's either a personal diary or it's just silent footage of me eating paper. Go back to day 1 through 10 and you'll see that I was not talking, I was just doing this. I made it extra slow for something, I don't know. Shout out to Caden. Gonna pin that message. Hold on. Oh, God. Excuse me. Second to last piece. But no, don't worry. You're not intruding. If anybody's intruding, it's me. I'm intruding on myself. All right. 3, 2, 1. And the final piece. Are you guys ready? Okay. Be sure to eat a small choking hazard or a non-FDA approved inedible item with chemicals in it along in sync with me. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much for watching day 822 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. I will see you tomorrow. That's going to be, guess what? Can you guys count? 823. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time. Oh, this is goodbye. In the words of Daniel Plainview from 1 hour and 47 and a half minutes into There Will Be Blood, I'll see what I can do. I don't know where my life is going to be at day 1000. It'll be smack dab in the middle of 2025. Who knows what that year will entail? Will it be breaking the pattern of the alternating odd and even numbered years? Or will it be predictable and be a banger year? I'm really cool with that second option. Please be the second option. I'm going to guess that it's going to be kind of middle of the ground. I'm going to predict like a 6 out of 10 for that year. I mean, I'm expecting a lot of low lows, which I'm ready for, and high highs, which I'm not ready for. I never want to expect something good. So when it comes, I'm going to be so flabbergasted by how awesome those aspects of my year are. Bada bing, bada bang, that'll turn the 6 to an 8. It's all about mindset, everybody. All right. Till next time, this is goodbye. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. I have to fly away to Pizza Port and take off my shorts, take a shit inside a toilet, and see if my new pantyhose fits. Goodbye. Time to die.